one of the things we wanted to do regularly, whenever we can, is to share stories of how God's working in our lives. And so I'm listening when I talk to you how God is at work. And I may ask you, can we share that? So I've asked someone this morning to come up and join me and share a little bit about how they saw God at work. And so, Caleb, if you would mind coming up and sharing with us, you can grab the same microphone there. And the reason I wanted Caleb to share this morning is because he makes me look better up here, right? But you were really intentional this summer about doing things that often we do, but you kind of did it really intentionally, and I just thought that was really cool because some of your intentionality in that was for God's glory. And so, can you share with us a little bit about what you did over the summer?
Yeah. If you are friends with myself or Alyssa on Facebook, you probably already know we tried to do a lot of hikes and went up a lot of mountains this summer and this year. I really believe that all creation is to glorify God. So when we're out in creation, we are out in the presence of God's glory and experiencing His majesty, His awe, and just bringing joy.
Mm-hmm. So was there a specific instance, like you did how many hikes? Like 20 or something like that?
Like 15 or so up mountains, 18 hikes, something
so
like that.
A lot of hikes over the summer. And is there one instance that kind of encapsulates this, what you just described, why you go up?
I think so. Alyssa and we did Mount Dun, or Dun Peak, which is north of Kamloops by like 150 kilometers. It's a pretty remote mountain in the middle of nowhere. You have to drive through lots of Forest Service roads and unmaintained paths to get there. It's the highest mountain in the Thompson-Nicola area. So after 90 kilometers walking, that's not true. After the first 9 kilometers, almost halfway up, following subalpine lakes and creeks through all these forests, with and without trail, after navigating this boulder field, we kind of came out into this alpine meadow where it's all thyme and heather blooming and like the alpine paintbrush and all of these different alpine flowers with creeks and waterfalls cascading from these towering jagged peaks. And I think it's one of those places, one of those kinds of areas where the majesty and basically just holiness and power of God is so demonstrated that you can't help but stop and in awe of God and His presence and His creation. So we stopped there at the meadows before continuing and took in God's glory and His presence in His creation. Wow.
Just really had that experience of wonder at the Lord. Yeah.
The peaks are good too, but it's
yeah. You told me that you had one more reason why you were intentional, or how you were intentional about this summer as well. Can you share that?
Yeah. I really find a lot of joy in being out in the wilderness, in the mountains, summiting as many mountains as I can. And this year I wanted as many people as I could to experience that with me, because I like it, so other people ought to too. So I tried to find a lot of different hikes that people could come on with us, and we invited a number of people, and we did go hiking with some people who hadn't really done anything like that before, and others who we've gone with before, and it was really enjoyable to try to go out with just other people and lots of other Christians to experience God's creation together as well.
And again, I'll just ask you, like, can you help us experience a little bit one of those? Was there a moment with those people where that kind of encapsulates that?
Yeah. One of the hikes that we did on our anniversary, was in Glacier National Park, which is between Revelstoke and Golden, if you don't know where that is. So we did Pearly Rock, which is a hike up towards the Ile Silhouette Glacier. And it's a relatively steep, difficult walk along a trail, and definitely the most difficult thing that some of our friends who came with us had ever done before. So they were trudging through and suffering my impatience. And as we went through that physical hardship together, and then eventually you come up to Pearly Rock, to this little peak on the ridge, and you crest the ridge, overlooking Glacier Valley and the mountains and wilderness, as well as the glaciers. And it's one of those places, again, where you just have to stop and take in God's creation and his presence and the beauty that he's built into this world. So as a group, we stopped. One of our friends, who also happens to be named Caleb, was at least affected enough by the moment in the place that he thought we should sing a hymn together. So we did. We stopped on the top of the mountain, and just the few of us together sang the doxology, which brought kind of a stillness and I think like a sanctity kind of to the moment and the place out in God's creation.
That's awesome. You had a little worship experience
Yeah.
together up there. Thank you. Is there anything else that you want to say about that this summer? Anything else, or?
I don't know. Mostly just, I think you should go out too. and yeah, I think that the summer has really helped us to try to focus on dwelling in the Lord everywhere that we go, and in his glory and his majesty. And I would really encourage everybody else to take a moment and appreciate his awe, essentially. Yeah.
Thank you. I really appreciate. I loved hearing about it, because I thought, yeah, you're just recognizing God's presence and seeking it as you do these things. So that's just an encouragement for us to be doing that wherever we are. So thank you. Yeah, appreciate that.